and welcome back. It's Ginny from Polly's Paper Studio, and today I'm creating this very retro inspired Valentine pocket full of sweet little tags, and I'm using the Forever My Always paper collection from Pebbles, which is very fun and retro and has all the iconic little hearts and some gold foil on it as well. And I'm also going to use some of this ephemera pack, which I broke open abruptly, and now all the pieces are falling. So I put it in the bag to save it from making a mess. So let's get started. And I've got a piece of white cardstock that's cut 6 by 8.5 and scored at 2.5 to create the pocket. Now I'm going to begin filling that with the background, and it's 3 layers of the pattern paper. I'm using the double-sided adhesive tape to secure all those layers, and I'm just given a little bit of a border with that pattern of the pink and red stripe behind the hearts, and then I'm going to put that on top of that I don't know, is that aqua seafoam? I don't know what color that is. It's cute though. This has a 1/4 inch border, so there's a little bit more of it showing, and the one on the inside just has 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to put that inside the pocket, and it will just have a white border of that cardstock showing, and that will be the background. So it will be inside the flap, and I'm going to grab this backing off of the adhesive. And this is a piece that was left over when I cut the background. It's 12 inches by 2.5 inches, and I'm just going to center it on the front there and press it into place. Then I'm going to flip the pocket over, and you can see it. I have already applied some of that adhesive tape. I'm just going to take the backing off and then wrap those flaps around and secure it on the back, and this is gonna give us a very nice sturdy pocket. If you had just attached it on the front, you would be concerned that maybe it would come apart when you fill it with all the goodies. So this layer I'm adding is 110-pound cardstock, which really does add a lot of sturdiness to it, and it causes it to be a little bit bulkier, which is kind of nice. This is the background on that, and I'm just going to press that into place as well, so that will finish the back and it will be coordinated with the front. Okay, so let's get started on the pocket. I've got this cut from the paper pad, and you can see that that is the salvage edge where it would hang in the store, but I did like that pattern on top, so I decided that I could arrange the embellishments to cover the hole that it was hanging from. And so I'm going to add, now that's the same greeny blue color, but it's a different pattern. So I've got polka dots now instead of stripes, and I'm going to top it with this partial doily, which I just cut and then lined up the holes and use my guillotine cutter to cut it in half. Here's some additional pieces that were left over from the trimming, and I'm going to use that to disguise the cut edge of the doily. And I didn't have a long enough piece, but once again we have to cover that hole, so it's not too much of a concern. And once I have that where I want it, I can press it down and it will be a nice finished border edge. This is part of the ephemera pack. It had a little bit of gold foil to it, and I measured it where I was going to add it so that I would be careful not to bring that adhesive too high up and cause it to get stuck to anything in the pocket. So next is this really sweet little ampersand, and I chose to use foam spacers for that to give it a little dimension. And I'm gonna just sort of place it there where it works in the arrangement. Now flowers are next, and these are just some chrysanthemums from Really Reasonable Ribbon. They're Wild Orchid Craft. I've got 3 of them, and I wound the twine together so that it would be a you know, a cohesive unit, and then I glued that on, and I'm going to tuck a little bit of this pink bow. That's a diamond stitch satin from Really Reasonable Ribbon as well. While it was setting up, I went ahead and arranged the loops where I thought they would look nice. And last but not least, for the front is some of these pearls. These are going to line them up using that polka dot pattern to keep them as straight as possible. And once I like where they're at, I'm just going to press them into place, and that will be the pocket. Now I'm using some of that polka dot again to create this tag, and I added a layer of the 110-pound cardstock to the back so that it would be very sturdy. And I went ahead and grabbed that salvage edge again because I did like that layering of the patterns together. Now I'm going to just use a portion of this so I can save the rest for later, and grab these are my non-stick scissors. This is my favorite craft tool I've bought this year. I use it all the time, and you can cut right through all the foam tape and the adhesive, so that works great. Now this is the little sentiment again from the ephemera pack, and I'm using the foam for this to pop it up, and I'm going to just add that right to the middle of the tag there. And this is some lace. I'm going to just fold it into a V and kind of arrange it on the top of the tag where I like, and use the tiny attacher to secure it. Once that is in place, I'm going to cut the edges at an angle to keep it from fraying. It's a little floppy there. This is a twine bow. Now I'm going to put it on with hot glue and squish my finger into it because apparently I like to hurt myself. I don't know. Now one more element for this tag is this vintage button, and I think that is very sweet and adorable. I made 3 tags all together. These have the pink, one of them has hearts, the other is an eye. So I'm just going to add all these to the pocket, and you can see that there's still room to add treats if you want. You can hit me up in the comments below and let me know what favorite treat is yours for Valentine's. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. Bye!